As Bernie Sanders said it, this is the most progressive piece of legislation to pass the Senate since he's been a senator.
And one of the most popular pieces of legislation that's moved through Congress in years.
You think this is the most significant piece of legislation in decades?
It is significant.
It's big.
It is big, especially for families, especially for lower income families. The people who have been hit the hardest are going to be helped the most
make a lot of money
with this bill.
Hopefully within a couple of weeks, some 85% of American households will receive a direct payment check.
This bill helps corporations directly a lot less than the other bills, and it helps the average American way more.
That direct payment will be $1,400 for every working class adult, and that could mean the difference between despair and dignity. Individuals, $75,000 or less, couples, $150,000 or less, plus your children.
Not a single Republican in the Senate voted for it.
Over 1 million people are having their pensions saved as a result of this package.
This got no Republican support. What does that say to you?
The Republicans have turned their back on the needs of working families. Is this legislation perfect? No.
Raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour.
We agree with Senator Sanders, and the president is going to be standing right alongside him, fighting for an increase in the minimum wage to $15 an hour. And he will use his political capital to get that done.
We only got 42 votes the other day, but this I promise you, we're going to win this fight.
You should look for another round of the minimum wage.
We're going to do it. And we're just working on a strategy now to make that happen. And if anybody thinks that the vote that we had the other day on the minimum wage is the last vote that is taking place this session, they're very, very wrong.
Because there are some Democrats who did not want that.
I know. Believe me, I know. But at the end of the day, the American people want it.
Welcome back, everyone. President Biden has signed this last stimulus package into law, and the IRS is currently preparing those payments. So we're going to discuss when we can expect for you to receive those payments, either through direct deposit or in your mailbox. And some Democrats are already pushing Biden to approve additional stimulus later on this year and include it in his Build Back Better economic plan. We're going to discuss the details of all of this in this video, but before we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers, valued up to $1,800. So feel free to click the link that's in the description of this video to open your account and get your free stocks. So let's discuss payment dates, and I quickly want to recap that basically anybody with a Social Security number qualifies for this $1,400 stimulus check as long as you made less than $80,000 per year and less than $160,000 per year for married couples. If you made $75,000 or less and $150,000 or less as a married couple, you will receive the entire stimulus check. Of course, this does include adult dependents and child dependents, but whoever claimed you will directly receive that stimulus check. And those who are on Social Security benefits do qualify for this stimulus check as well. But if you have not filed your taxes, you might not directly receive this stimulus check unless you file your taxes so that the IRS will have your information on file. That being said, if you have received the previous stimulus checks, you should receive this third stimulus check through the same way you received those first two checks. If you're unsure whether or not the IRS will be sending out your stimulus check automatically, that irs.gov portal is expected to open up in the next couple of weeks, so you can go ahead and track your payment that way. Of course, this package includes that $300 per week unemployment boost extended until the first week of September, and they also include a tax break on unemployment payments. Remember, generally you do have to pay taxes on those unemployment paychecks, but the first $10,200 will be tax-free from 2020, not 2021. Now, we're still waiting on guidance from the IRS on exactly how you'll get this money back if you already paid taxes on that, because a lot of people do pay their taxes up front on these unemployment payments, but we should have updates on that in the next couple of weeks. And regarding that child tax credit, we do expect this to be paid out monthly beginning in July and going until the end of the year. And then when you file your taxes for 2021, you should receive 6 months of back pay for the first 6 months of 2021, for that child tax credit. And this will be $250 per month for children under 18 and $300 per month for children under 6 years old. Of course, the package also includes more money for vaccine distribution and money for state and local governments, which will help fund things like keeping teachers, firefighters employed, and funding pensions, which a lot of retirees are counting on throughout this crisis. Now, things that were excluded: this $15 minimum wage, student loan forgiveness, and that $200 per month stimulus boost for those who are on Social Security benefits. But we'll talk about these things in just a minute, because we do expect some Democrats to push for these things to be included in Joe Biden's economic package, and we do hope to have some stimulus in that package as well. But regarding payment dates for these current stimulus checks, again, the IRS is expected to immediately work on this now, so we do think they're already working on getting these payments out. And based on the previous stimulus checks, we do expect direct deposits to go out as early as Monday or Tuesday next week. At the latest, we do expect direct deposit payments to begin by the end of next week. Now, again, that is the beginning of these direct deposit payments. Some people will not receive them for a few weeks, but if you fall into the category of direct deposit payments, you should be receiving your payments in the next 1 to 3 weeks, much more quickly than those who receive paper checks. Now, for those who will be receiving regular paper checks, now the good news is the IRS can print about 10 million of these checks per week, but these usually start being mailed out a week after direct deposit payments begin. So mid to late next week, we should have direct deposit payments going out. And then another week after that, we should have stimulus check payments by paper begin to be mailed out. Again, it will take another week or so to arrive in your actual mailbox, but that is what we expect for paper checks. And at 10 million per week, most people should receive them by the end of April, very latest at the beginning of May, but a large chunk of you will begin receiving them at the very end of March and the very beginning of April. As far as those debit cards with stimulus payments, those usually go out about a week later after paper checks, and most people receive those about a week or two after people begin receiving paper checks. So basically, if you're on direct deposits, there's a really good chance you're going to receive your payment next week, and you can expect to receive them at the latest by the end of March. If you get paper checks, there's a really good chance you're going to receive them the first week of April, and should definitely have them by the end of April. And similar timeline for those who are getting debit cards, maybe pushed back about another week or so compared to paper checks. Now, despite the fact that not a single Republican voted for this bill, 75% of Americans approved of this stimulus package, including 94% of Democrats, 77% of independents, and even almost half of Republicans. 46% of Republican voters approved of this package. And let me know in the comments, if you vote Republican, did you or did you not approve of this package? And if you didn't, let me know why. Let me know what you did not like about this package, because it does provide direct payments for millions of Americans, and the bulk of this money is going towards working families and beating this pandemic. Now, because this stimulus package had such resounding support from the American public, Democrats are now pushing President Biden to include more stimulus in his next economic plan. As most of you know, Joe Biden's next economic plan is supposed to be focused on creating middle-class, blue-collar, and white-collar jobs, but Democrats are now pushing him to include more stimulus as well, and we're hoping that this could include student loan forgiveness and that $200 per month stimulus for those who are on Social Security benefits. Remember, President Biden promised on the campaign trail to approve this stimulus specifically for those who are on benefits, because not only do they already live on a fixed income, but they have been among the hardest hit group of people throughout this pandemic. Most of the people who are passing away from this illness are elderly, and healthcare costs only continue to skyrocket for those who are retired. So Joe Biden's Build Back Better jobs and economic recovery plan, again, he is focusing on creating blue-collar and white-collar jobs by rebuilding roads, highways, and other infrastructure as well. And he wants to invest in research and development for clean energy, which would also create white-collar jobs. So we expect this package to be approved sometime later this year, at the very latest early next year. And a lot of Democrats are pushing for Biden to include stimulus payments in this as well. They actually wrote a letter to President Biden himself urging him to not only include another unemployment boost, but more payments for stimulus and potentially even monthly payments. And we're hoping that by monthly payments, they also want to include that $200 boost for those who are on Social Security benefits. Now, the same Democrats who wrote this letter to President Biden are the same Democrats who are pushing for that boost for those who are on Social Security benefits. So this is really good news. Democrats continue to advocate for more stimulus payments, and it's the same Democrats who are advocating for those who are on Social Security benefits. Senators like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Ron Wyden. So we're hoping that not only will they push for more stimulus in this next economic package, but of course, we're hoping that they advocate for those who are on Social Security benefits. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I am growing a little upset with President Biden because he promised on the campaign trail to approve this stimulus boost for those who are on Social Security benefits. And we're over 50 days into his presidency, and he still has not even mentioned it. Now, again, I'm not giving up hope. I do still think this could happen, but I need action. I need more news on this quickly because we haven't had many updates on this. But now with Democrats pushing for more stimulus in this next economic spending package, the door has reopened for more stimulus, and specifically more stimulus for those who are on Social Security benefits. And I quickly want to read a small excerpt from the letter that Democrats wrote to Joe Biden. They said they want reoccurring direct payments, which have wide support from both the general public and economic experts. Polling shows that 65% of Americans support recurring cash payments for the duration of the pandemic. Now, let me know in the comments if you approve of that as well. I personally approve of that, especially if it's for those who are on Social Security benefits. This concept has a lot of support not only from the general public, but from economists as well. So with that said, some Democrats continue to push for additional stimulus payments, and we're hoping that Biden will include them in his next economic spending package. And if you made it this far into my video, please subscribe. I will keep you updated on the potential for more stimulus payments, and specifically monthly stimulus payments for those who are on Social Security benefits. I'm really hoping that that $200 monthly stimulus is approved for our retirees and for those who are disabled. This group of people need the help the most throughout this crisis. So we do hope to have a lot of news now that this third stimulus package has been approved and President Biden and Congress can fully focus on that next economic plan. And guys, thank you so much for supporting my work. I really appreciate every single view. Stay strong out there. Help is coming soon. Your third stimulus check should be hitting your bank account or your mailbox in the next couple of weeks. And again, hopefully we'll have more stimulus in this next spending package as well. So until the next video, stay strong out there and have a great day.